Okay, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Warped Media. Again, I'm Mike. I am the sole proprietor of Warped Media. And first things first, I will do my best, my level best, to not sniffle in the microphone. After I edited that last video, I was like, oh man. Like every 3 minutes, sniffle, 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 sniffle. So I will try not to do that this time. I will try my hardest not to do that this time. So my intention was to shoot a car show video this weekend because I did go to a car show. That didn't quite work as planned. I did go to the car show, but I was there with my kids, and we were just chilling, and we were just hanging out, having a good time. Didn't do really much filming at all. So, yeah, probably no car show video. Not until July when we go to the next car show. It's going to be myself and the oldest boy are going out to a car show. But despite not having a car show video to edit and upload, I have some news, some interesting news, some exciting news. But before we get to that, I do have some updates with the car. So as you may or may not know, I'm sure you know because I mentioned it in the last video, I am running no cats on this car, no catalytic converters, no nada, just muffler. All the other pipes are 2.5-inch straight pipes. So just recently I put a generic Amazon Chinese kind of deal, one of those catless downpipes where it still has the provisions for both oxygen sensors, it just has no cat. So I did that, and I had an O2 sensor. Well, so I was getting codes for what was it? I was getting one for catalyst not optimal temperature or something along those lines. I was getting a code for rich fuel mixture. I was getting a code for oxygen sensor preheat, something or others. And there was one other one. Can't remember offhand. Anyway, so normally what I've been doing in the past, and it's worked fairly good, is when you have oxygen, when you have your catalytic converters and you eliminate them, your exhaust gases and your pressures and your temps are going to be all different. So they sell these little O2 sensor bung extensions. It's basically like a spacer that you put in. You put one in, into the bung, the O2 bung, and then you put the O2 sensor in the other end of that spacer, and that usually does some sort of whatever, however they work, and they're enough that the O2 sensor thinks everything's fine. So I have a drawer full of them, and so I threw one in the Mini after I swapped out the downpipe. So I kept the top O2 sensor in standard, straight in, no problem, because that one was in front of the cat, right behind the turbo. The other one I put the spacer in, threw it in. Was still getting those same codes: rich, fuel mixture, catalyst efficiency, something or other not optimal, and temperature preheat. So started doing a little more research, and they have, rather than just a straight 1-inch standoff, there are other variations of these things that are a standoff and then a 90-degree angle, and then the port for the O2 sensor. Mr. Nissan Rogue is a little bit impatient. Anywho, so yeah, they have the 90-degree ones and whatever. But then I found on, I think it was jcarparts.com, something like that. I'll put a link in the description. Basically, it was japanesecarparts.com or something along those lines. They are as a little 90-degree deal, but inside of it had catalyst in it, like from a catalytic converter. So I was like, well, I'll try that. Threw that in there, got rid of the rich condition, got rid of the catalyst temperature or catalyst efficiency code, but did not get rid of the oxygen sensor preheat. Don't speed, kids. Speed kills. Sorry. So I put that in there and seemed to clear the code, most of the codes but one. Still had the O2 sensor preheat circuit. It was O2 sensor circuit something preheat something. I forget the code exactly. So I was like, crap. All right. So the thing got rid of 2 of the 3 codes. So I pulled the oxygen sensor out of there, the second one down bottom. I was looking at it. It looks pretty plugged up. So ordered a new oxygen sensor. That came in next day, Amazon for the win. Threw that in there. Sure enough, cleared all the codes. So I don't know if it's probably a combination of the O2 sensor being replaced and the little, Japanese car part thing. But it fixed it. I'm cool with that. I'm down with that. So that's that part. That's that portion of, fix the car, fix the oxygen sensor problem, if you will. So that being said, big news today, something major life change for me, um, and my family. Uh, I put in my 2 week notice for work, not because of YouTube. Yeah, I don't make any money on this, obviously. But that being said, put in my 2 week notice. Boss was, you know, one of those deals of like, oh, that sucks, but he gets it. Um, there are a lot of things, a lot of factors that are in play when it comes to me being able to quit my job. I'm not going to get into all the things, but I'm able to quit my job. I'm lucky in that way. So does that mean I'm gonna sit at home and be a bum all the time? I wished, but that's not the case. Ugh, train tracks are the devil. But yeah, that's not the case. We're not going to sit at home, be a bum, all those things. The main reason I quit my job is at 43 years old. I'm going back to college. Um, which is a hell of a scary thing. But it's going to be fine. It'll be fine. It'll buff out. But I'm going back to school. I am going to chase something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. Um, so a little about me: I didn't do well in school. Never done well in school. Or, well, I didn't do well in school back when I was younger. So why am I going back to school at 43 years old? Well, I think I'm a little better prepared. I'm a little more disciplined than I was. So I'm going to school for. So the degree is, well, the major. So undergraduate degree in digital innovation and design. And I would try to explain it, but it is one of those programs that has 5 different pathways within it. So everything from doing what they call creative leadership, doing content creation, doing basically new media marketing, if you will, is what I've heard it called before. So new media marketing, short and long form digital video, short and long form cell phone video. Um, so it's going to be interesting. I meet with my advisor on Friday to lay out my schedule for the fall. Truthfully, I'm scared. I'm scared to death. This is a hell of a big jump. So it should be fine. Should. We'll see. I am more doing this for my own. So part of it, the catalyst for me looking and finding this path is I want to learn stuff. I like to learn. I was never good at school, but I like to learn. It's weird. But I wanted to get into a course that could teach me some new ideas, show me some new things, you know. I think it's going to be a good time. Will it be easy? Oh no, hell no, it's not going to be easy. I will never pretend to say that an undergraduate degree is easy or a master's degree or a PhD. I'll never say that they are mandatory to get a good job, because I'm leaving a very good job. I make very good money doing what I'm doing. But money's not everything. Money isn't your whole life. Yes, you need money to eat. You need money for shelter. You need money for all, those types of things. You need money for cars, but it's not your being. It's not who you are. I spent a lot of years chasing money. I spent a lot of years taking that next pay raise, finding that next job, Oh, train tracks are not my friend. But, it's time that I look at following something that is kind of a passion or something that, I want to do. It's that old saying of, hey, if you love what you do, is it really a job? Well, I think even if you love what you do, yes, it's still a job, but it's less of a grind. It's something that is more sustainable long term for your own well-being, your own headspace. So that's where I'm at, quitting my job to go to school. And now, what's interesting to me, for me, is I have always quit jobs in the past, sure, but I have always had a job lined up. I've always left a job for the job that I got. I would go and I would find another job that was a step up from the one that I was in. I'd quit that one and start directly, leave one job one day, walk into the next job the next day. So to call my boss and not have a job lined up when I'm putting in my notice is weird. It's going to be fine. It will work out, but it is definitely foreign to me, into my family. I've always worked. I've always busted my butt. I've always been on that grind, been on that hustle, trying to get that next thing, that next better thing. But I think in this situation, it's also hustling for that next better thing. It's just that next better thing isn't a pay raise. It's an education. So that's kind of the big news, the goings on. Hopefully, I'll have some more time for some more content. So I'm going on vacation. Well, so we're taking a trip. I can't call it vacation if I'm not really working. We're taking a trip. Might do some videos during the trip. We'll see. But after I get home from the trip, step one is I got to put my big 1-ton diesel van back together so I could sell it. And so that's going to be my next big project. The Mini is cool. I like it. It's fun to drive, fun to show. But there's not a lot going on with it right now. It's a driver. So we'll start to see those other projects here shortly when I get back from vacation. The van shouldn't be too terribly hard. I need to put the exhaust on. I've got 4-inch turbo back exhaust, straight piped. And I need to, so I had an EGR delete and an EGR cooler delete. And those of you that have done that on diesels know that you have to, on some of them, you have to reroute your cooling system. So because you pull that EGR cooler out of there. And so when I did that, I think I didn't get a clamp tight because my wife was driving it home. When she pulled in the driveway, it puked coolant everywhere. But it's not a car that we need. It's not a car we drive. So we parked it and I haven't looked at it. So step one is put the exhaust on it. Step two is fix the cooling system. Step three is to sell it. So if you're looking for a Ford Econoline 1-ton with a Power Stroke in it, not the 7.3, it's a 6.0 Power Stroke. I have one that's going to be for sale soon. So and once the van is done, then we have the 53 Ford to get back on the road. That's a bigger project, but that's also a much more rewarding project because that's something that's been in the family a lot of years, and it's a nice car and I love it and love driving it. So those are the two big things on the horizon. The van first, well, plus some odd and end videos. I need to get my wife's Suburban cleaned up from the winter. It's a complete mess. So before vacation, I needed to get the paint back in order. And so there's that. There's the big van. There's the 53 Ford, and then I need to also have a 1-ton dually pickup truck with a diesel, then I need to get back out and start driving again soon. But it has some issues. It popped a bunch of the exhaust manifold bolts. It popped the heads off of them. So I need to extract at least 5 bolts that I know about on the passenger side. And I think there's only like 8 bolts in that whole thing, maybe 10 bolts, I don't know. But that thing spit a bunch of bolts out. We'll spit the heads off the bolts. But again, we don't drive it, so it's sat. So that's kind of my update for the day. I don't have much car stuff today to look at, to go over. Another Mini over there. So we're going to call that a day, and I'm going to upload this. Next time around, I swear we'll have something a little bit better. It's just life finds a way, as Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park. Right? That's what he said. Life finds a way. Yeah, I think that's what he said. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording if I can reach back here.